All right, it's live.
All right.
All right, now we just wait for a few more people to come in. It's live.
Yep, I'm just bringing it up on my phone, and I'm not actually seeing anything on my side for. Let's see.
All right, hello TikTok. TikTok so happy parrot, thanks for showing up. Right now I'm doing an interview and then call in. So right now I have Eric on here with me. Eric's on the line. I'm gonna show some of his channel stuff and we'll talk about what he does for his hobby.
How you doing? Thanks for having me on, John.
Yep, no problem, anytime. We're just waiting a minute for more people to come in. Right. People should be coming in soon. I'll probably reintroduce you over time, just, you know, for the new people.
No problem.
Let me put up something about your channel, like in the corner or something here, so that people could see what I'm talking about. Let me put your channel, like, name up in the corner. Let me see. Right now, Eric's doing some tank maintenance, so you hear the water in the background. All right. So right now, I'm just showing Eric's page there in the background. His channel is Majestic Cichlids. If you want, after the stream, you guys can go check it out. Subscribe and watch some of his videos. All right, let's see. Participants. Hold on, I'm gonna. While you're doing the water thing, I'm just gonna lower your audio for like a minute while we wait. While we wait till people come in.
No problem.
Hold on. Okay. All right, I put your audio back up there. Just let me know when you're about to do like anything with water. All right, let me see if anybody else came in. Guess some people could catch it on the rewind anyway.
Yep.
Let's see. I'm just watching to see how it's coming in over on YouTube. It looks fine on YouTube. All right. Participants. This is right now. It says it's just TikTok. So happy parrot in the chat. All right, so let me check my phone real quick to see if I have any messages. I'll share the link out too. See if I can get anybody else up in here. just sharing the link out right now. I see you in the chat there. It takes a while for people to get on, especially at this time on a weekend. I already got, it seems like there's more people. We just don't have that many people in the chat. Let me reload this page to double check. It says one watching now. Just one watching, but that's what I expect at this time on a Saturday. And then there's other streams going to be running. So.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But I guess we will get people as it goes. Like last time I streamed, it took a while, and then people started coming in. All right, so let's look at it. I'm just opening up your channel here. All right, I guess we'll start now anyway, and people can watch the replay afterwards.
Yep.
Because if it's just quiet the whole first few minutes of the video, people are gonna skip through it. So, all right, let me just looking at your page here. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. I'm just readjusting the screen here. All right. I have to resize your page for the screen. Doing some final touch-ups here on the screen. All right. Be good. All right, so all right, let me just double check the YouTube chat. All right, so I'll just start the stream then. All right, so your last video was the Pistogramma Steel Blue info and care guide.
Excuse me.
Is that your latest project?
Pistogramma. Actually, that was a previous project that I re-uploaded because I had a little bit of a problem with my YouTube channel, and I lost a couple of files due to there was like some type of corruption going on with my files, so I had to re-upload a few of the older videos. So I was just trying to catch up with that.
All right.
But that was an Pistogramma that I kept in my Blackwaterscape. I did a video for the Blackwaterscape.
Do you still have them?
Unfortunately, I know the Pistogramma actually sold them.
Oh yeah, did they sell for good? Did you make anything off of it?
Yeah, a couple of dollars.
That's
not nothing incredible, but a few dollars. They were really beautiful pair, and I had sold them to a gentleman that came into the pet shop and through a friend of mine. So.
Right.
But they were gorgeous little fish, but I had to move them on because they were getting a little aggressive in my community setup.
Right.
And with some of the smaller tetras and stuff like that, so I didn't want them killing off any fish.
Right.
And I think that they were getting ready to spawn, and I didn't want any breeding going on, so I just didn't have any space to raise any, fry or anything like that.
Right. I'm gonna play your video in the background here without the volume, just to show them your what it looks like. Yeah. So this is his epistogramma video. Pretty cool. All right, I'm just playing that in the background there. So what's your most recent project?
That was I believe the Iwagumi-scape is the most recent
right.
project.
And for the viewers that don't know, that's a rock only scape, right?
Yeah, rock and let's say Japanese aquascapers, they use it as a traditional thing in their country. And they use a lot of like small grasses, plants that show like that are very small in proportion to like the actual rockscape, to give the impression of like the rocks being like mountainous and things like that.
Was that the Neon Dwarf rainbow fish tank video here? That's also a rockscape.
Yeah.
You want me to pull that one up here?
That's actually the one.
I'll pull that one up here. That's more appropriate to what we're talking about. Let's see. This is his
I'm
rock
actually
scape.
looking at it. I'm actually looking at the live stream from the outside in, and I'm not really seeing anything coming up. I'm seeing your face, the background, and just the
it delays. That's why it delays on your end when you're watching it.
All right. No, but I'm not getting anything at all, though. It's like if there's a slight delay or anything, I understand that, but I'm not seeing anything. I'm just seeing just the thumbnail.
All right, let me check on my phone here. Let me check to make sure, because we could always restart the stream if that's the case. If it's like a signal problem, we could always restart. I see it though on my phone. I'm looking at the YouTube on my phone. I see the stream.
All right.
It looks
all
fine.
I see is the John's calling show.
Did you start the video? Refresh the video.
Yep.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta refresh it.
All right. Yep. I'm getting the live chat. I see Stormtrooper in there and TikTok So Happy Parrot.
Right, and Stormtrooper says they say they see the video. So and I see it too. I see it too from my cell phone.
All right, no problem. So I'm just not getting anything on my end.
Yeah, but I see it, so that's fine. I don't know, maybe your internet connection download speed is lagging right now or something.
Yeah, possibly.
You did refresh it, right?
Check on my... Yeah, let me just check it on my other phone.
All right, because the chat sees it and I can see it
on the main phone. Yeah.
And you see it, right? Phone.
Yeah, I got it.
All right. So
I see the lily pipes being assembled and all that.
All right, so let me just repeat to them. This is Eric on the line. He's talking about what he's doing in the hobby. This is his tank right here. This is all rockscape. Let me go back to the part where he shows the whole tank. This is I believe this is an 88 tank, right, Eric?
Yes.
All right, let me put the video in focus here. All right, yeah, this is a 88 tank Aqua Design Amano. It's a Japanese brand. Eric, I'm gonna pause it on this screenshot here. You want to tell them a little bit about that tank? I paused it on that.
Basically, assembling. Well, I'm seeing right now the lily pipes being assembled is what I'm looking at.
Oh, it's lagging then. Wait, maybe I'm lagging on this side. Hold on. Let me double check what's going on here. All right. No, I think your end is lagging. Your connection was your download speeds are probably lagging. So I'm gonna pause it on this screen right here. It's basically showing your rockscape, right? Just your rockscape and your tank with the light on it. That's it. That's all that's in the shot.
The rocks being placed into the tank is what you're looking at right now, right?
Yeah. You just poured in some of the substrate.
All So I'm basically using a hardscape that I got from a local fish store not too far from where I live at. And I believe the rock that I was using was petrified woodstone, and I went with that type of rock because the idea behind the tank was to get it to look as if it was like a region of mountains with like a grassy valley growing around it. That was like the goal. It's my first Iwagumi, so there's a lot to be learned from this aquascape. So I'm just hoping that everybody likes it and they enjoyed the video, if anything.
Right. Well, you could you guys could go to Eric's channel. It's in my description. His channel's name is Majestic Cichlids, but we're still going to talk about more. The stream's not over. We're still talking about more stuff here. But let me just, I'm just scanning through your video right now, just skipping to different parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like these rock-only escapes because they don't release as much. They don't release tannins like the woodscapes. The woodscapes, you know, they release all the tannins when you first set them up, turn your water dark. Some people like that, and it's good for like breeding certain fish like tetras. But if you want your water clear, the rockscapes are, you know, much better for that.
I mean, you can also control the tannins by doing your water changes and removing.
Right, but if you want instant clear, you do the rockscape.
Yeah.
Like you can see right now I'm showing in your video. I'm showing in your video how the tank's basically clear. You just see like bubbles on the glass from pouring in the water, but everything's clear. That's because of the rockscape. And he put the water in gently. You can see like I believe you put a paper towel under the water inlet.
Yeah, I do that so that way the substrate is not disturbed by the incoming water, so that way you don't get any of that like murkiness or cloudiness that comes with pouring the water into the substrate.
Right.
And just pouring the water in very slowly so it doesn't disturb the substrate. This really helps in general.
Right, and you already put in the plants into the substrate in this shot. Hold on one moment. All right, just give me a second. So yeah, over here he planted. That's what type of plant is that now?
Dwarf hairgrass.
That's dwarf hairgrass.
Dwarf hairgrass mini at the front, which is a smaller variation of hairgrass, the smallest one.
Right.
And then as I go towards the back, I use regular dwarf hairgrass, which is a little bit taller. So I'm just trying to add a little bit of depth by doing that.
Right. That's pretty cool. So when did you let's see, I can see here, or you want to tell me when you uploaded this? How old is this setup?
Oh, it's been a little while now. I think it's been maybe about 2 months now, two and a half months now. I don't really know off the top of my head because I've had a lot of things going on, but I believe it could be around that time. It's due for an update, so I'm just waiting to get everything together and create that video as well.
All right, so but the hairgrass is doing good, right?
Yeah, the hairgrass, unfortunately, you know, in recent events, my health took a turn for the worse. I had to go into emergency and spend a little time in the emergency room to get some things corrected. And the tank has been a little neglected, so it formed some algae. It's looking a little rough at the moment. I'm trying to clean things up. That's why I'm actually doing the water change right now and trying to, you know, tidy things up and get it back on track and hopefully, you know, save everything as I'm going along.
Right. All right, so hopefully that comes together. It is a pretty nice tank though. I like these 88 tanks. It's for the people who don't know, these are very low iron glass. So if you look at the side, you can basically see through the glass pane. It doesn't have that, you know, deep green tint that the regular glass has. Definitely worth it, especially when you're filming.
Yeah, it's very beautiful tanks, but they come at a little bit of a lofty price.
What about that tool you're using, the forceps there? Is that that looks like a special like name brand?
For aquascaping tools, I like the UNS, the Ultimate Nature Systems.
Yeah, I could tell that's a special brand you got there.
Yeah, so I've gone and just as time went on, I collected those tools, and they've been really handy for everything I've been doing on my
channel. They look good. That's like some high quality stainless steel, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Oh yeah, Stormtrooper in the chat says sorry to hear that, Eric.
Yeah, you know, things happen. We're all human, and you know, issues come up, and we have to take care of them. And sometimes, unfortunately, it takes a lot of time to deal with certain things. And unfortunately, in my case, it was the neglect of my tank, and you know, the tank's looking a little bit rough compared to what it was looking at in that video. But I'm doing my best to save everything and put it back on the right track. So, Stormtrooper, I appreciate your concern, and I appreciate your kind words in the chat.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good tank. I like these 88 tanks, especially like they have this all-in-one version, right? So along the lines of getting sick, right? I like to like keep things, you know, I like the all-in-one filters especially because they're low maintenance. So if you get sick or something, you don't have to worry about too much, right? So
I mean the tanks in general, when you set up a tank, you could set it up so that way it's low maintenance. But in the beginning stages of the tank being built,
that's true because the roots aren't fully developed.
Water changes. Exactly.
And your substrate's still releasing nutrient.
Exactly. So everything's still fresh. So I ended up going in as everything was still fresh, and it created a little bit of havoc in the tank.
Right. So I get that. So you basically set it up, and that was probably the worst time to get sick.
Exactly.
Wow.
But it still looks pretty good, and everything's still on the positive looking side. And I'm trying to do my due diligence and get everything cleaned out and back on the road to, you know, to where it should be going.
Back to normal with it. That's good. You don't have snails in there, do you?
Yes, I do. I have some cherry shrimp that I just threw in. I have some ram's horn snails. In the video, if you look at the video, there's a point where I throw in a nearite snail, which are one of the best algae-eating snails in my opinion.
Right.
And this guy, his nickname was Houdini because he's always been trying to escape the tank. So like, he'll be in the tank one night, and the following night he'll be on the outside pane of the glass crawling down.
Right.
So I ended up having to take that nearite out, but that would probably be one of the best snails that I could have had in that tank.
I
had two Amanos also. The Amanos also were climbing out of the tank, so I had to resolve that issue and rehome them. So I ended up going with Neocaridina shrimp, which you know, they don't break the water surface, but they're very good at cleaning algae as well.
Right. Hold on, I'm waiting till my internet refreshes. It's starting to drop some frames. Let me see, let me refresh this page here. Alright, it looks like he came back at low quality. Alright, I got the resolution back. It looked like it was dropping frames. Let me read the comments again. I'm just gonna skip to the part where you add in some stuff. Yeah, I see that mono shrimp.
Yeah, the Amano shrimp. I added a few dwarf neon rainbow fish with the blue eyes, and the Amanos, the nearite, and I think a couple of Neocaradinas later. I did at a later date where I didn't film that.
Right, and you have a red neon blue eye rainbow fish.
And the ram's horn snails.
Right. Skip to that. Yeah, I see ram's horn snail. Yeah, they're pretty good with the algae. Hold on a second. I'll be right back.
And they also don't. Yeah, I see you live again.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
All right, let me read the chat. Stormtrooper, are you considering a restoration video? The process of showing the tank at a low point in the gradual restoration would be an interesting series to see. Did you answer that question already that Stormtrooper was asking?
No, I haven't. To Stormtrooper, I'm not really thinking about doing a restoration video because not many people take. No, it's a lot of work, and I actually started restoring the tank as soon as I got home, and the tank is starting to look a bit better. But I may consider that idea in future videos if I have a tank that takes a hit and goes downhill a little bit, and I'll consider doing a video on that and just documenting it if anything. But I do want to I want to post an update. I want to give the tank a little bit of a chance to carpet a little bit more, grow in, and everything to be on the up and up, and show you guys how everything's been progressing.
Right, that's pretty cool. Stormtrooper, do you have an Instagram, Stormtrooper? Because I could, if you want, you could call in and ask on the through the voice call. Let me read the comment. For these live chats with YouTubers, are we getting a behind the scenes on the person themselves and what got them into doing these tanks? Oh, okay. So, yeah. Eric, you didn't talk about how you got into tanks yet on here, right?
Oh man, that's long time ago. Actually, my father was really heavy into fish, and always talked about having fish. And there was a local pet shop over by where I lived at, and I used to always walk over to that pet shop and walk around and just look at all the fish swimming in the tanks, look at all the setups that they have. Constantly asking the store owner questions. I had a really huge interest in fish keeping, and at the time I was too young. I wasn't working and I couldn't afford it, and my parents weren't able to afford it as well. So little by little, as time went by, I got a little older, and my father was able to get me my first fish tank, which was a 20-gallon long, and I had, just a couple of rocks, some wood in it. Nothing like the scapes that you see now, of course, but I enjoyed it thoroughly, and I threw some guppies. The guppies multiplied, filled up that tank really fast, and then I moved on to Oscars. And the Oscars, once I got Oscars, I had them for a good 10 years since they were the size of my fingernail. And I started with Oscars in a 10-gallon fish tank, which is a big no-no because these fish grow into excess of a foot. And I didn't know that at the time, so it was a huge learning experience, and it was one of the biggest things that got me into fish keeping was the Oscar fish. I learned a lot from it, and I made a lot of mistakes from it. So, just progression, just going from the 10-gallon. I got another 20-gallon long, put the Oscars inside there. They outgrew the 20-gallon, and then I was able to get a 55-gallon, which my brother was nice enough to buy for me as a gift, as a graduation gift from school. And at that time, 55-gallon tank is not the biggest tank in the world.
It used to be
when
way
you're so
back.
small like that, they look gigantic. As a kid, you look at these tanks and they look gigantic when you're looking at them.
Right.
So it was like the biggest thing in the world to me. I was just in awe of it. And then I had these big fish. I had a red tiger Oscar and I had a red Oscar and a Jack Dempsey inside that tank.
Right.
With a really good filtration system, and I had them for about 10 years. And I just learned a lot through that experience, and that's what got me into fish keeping. And then it snowballed, and I just kept on keeping other tanks and other fish and asking more questions and visiting the pet shops regularly, discovering new places, making friends,
Right.
talking to people over it. And it just snowballed from there to what you see now on my channel.
That's pretty cool, man. So your first fish were like Oscars?
Yeah, my first serious fish, I would say, were Oscars.
Wow, that's a big way to start.
Were two Oscars and a Jack Dempsey. Because you know what it is? A lot of kids go into these pet stores and they see Oscars like myself, and they see them so small. And they're such a cute fish when they're small, and they interact with you. They come up to the front of the glass. They beg for food. They do all those dog-like things. And it's very easy to get roped into buying those little fish without knowing that, how big they get.
Right, and some people think they're going to get a bigger tank later, but they don't realize the logistics of that.
Oh, yeah. I was one of those people that made that mistake. But fortunately, I had a lot of help and a lot of people to help me get, the tanks to accommodate them as they grew.
Right. You got any other projects coming up or any new ones?
Yeah, I've been experimenting with no filter setups and low light setups, like a low tech setup with stem plants, some grasses, and different plants to see what goes well with my water. And I'm gonna be using those type of plants to. I have a new fish tank, rimless, opti white.
Right.
And I have a couple of them. So I have a lot of ideas going on for my channel. I have a couple of rockscapes. I have some woodscapes. It's just a matter of picking and choosing what I want to go with first. I feel like I'm kind of overwhelmed from all of the options that I have.
Right.
But I am super excited to start building something new.
That's pretty cool. Well, let's see. Is there any other aquarium stuff you want to mention here before we talk about other stuff?
No, when I first got started on YouTube, I got into breeding. I was keeping angelfish. And that's what my channel was based around, and that's where I got my name from, which, majestic cichlids. And if you look at cichlids, a lot of cichlids are kind of rough around the edges and brutes.
Right.
But when you look at majestic cichlids, you think about angelfish and discus come to mind. So when I had gotten into it, I originally started breeding angelfish on a large scale, and I wanted to use that as a learning curve to move up to discus, which I never got the chance to, but I was very successful in breeding several types of angelfish.
Well, angelfish are pretty cool. Maybe eventually you'll get into the discus.
Yeah, I mean, it's not so much breeding discus, because off-handing discus to the public is a little bit of a problem due to their price.
Right.
They fish for a very hefty price, and there's a lot of work involved with keeping discus, like twice as much as keeping your average fish, because
you need a lot of space.
Yeah, they need a lot of space, and water quality has to be pristine. They have to be kept in very good water quality, because if not, they can suffer a lot of ailments, if anything.
Yeah, also the discus pair you get have to be good at parenting with the eggs. And there's a bunch of little complexities to it. It's not like guppies, where guppies just, aren't guppies live bearers?
Yeah, yes they are.
Yeah, I have not kept, I don't believe I've kept guppies before, so I've seen people keep them, but yeah.
Yeah, I kept them when I was a lot younger. I would say maybe like 10 years old, around there. And I've kept them in that 20-gallon tank, and they bred like rabbits. You just have to, fill the tank up with plants, a lot of hiding spots.
That video that you have, the guppy info and care guide you have, you still have that tank set up? It's the same tank?
No, I had used that as a demonstration. So I built that on the fly. I have a 10-gallon plant, like I would call it a plant forming tank, where I'm trying to grow some different plants in a no filter setup. I just mentioned that earlier, and that's where I'm keeping the guppies at, in that tank.
Right, but the one in the video, those are the same type of guppies you have now, right?
In the plant form tank, yeah, I moved them back to the original tank.
All right, these are pretty nice.
When I was building that tank, I did that as a demonstration, as to create a little bit of content, keep it interesting. And I used water from the parent tank.
Right.
I used sand from previous setup. Everything was from previous
right. You kept it budget friendly.
With beneficial bacteria, and everything was safe for the fish to be moved into right away. It was instantly cycled.
Right.
So there was no fear of the fish getting sick or shocked or anything, because those were the conditions that they were already living in.
I mean, that's all they really need anyway. The guppy tank that you set up that's all they really need, even for long term.
Yeah.
And the rate that these things reproduce, man, it's crazy. Yeah, so these are much easier to breed than, you know, discus or even angelfish. Guppies are just resilient.
They're a great fish that are geared, I would say, towards beginner fish keepers that are looking to get into the hobby. You can learn a lot from guppies, and they can tolerate a lot of different water parameters, temperatures, and everything. And they're very resilient, where they resist sickness and all that stuff.
Right.
And they accept a wide range of food. Right. They get along beautifully with other fish, and it's just a great overall fish to experience and to learn from as a first fish.
But then you started with Oscars as your first fish, so.
Yeah, no, I actually started with guppies as my first fish, and then moved on to Oscars.
Guppies
were my first fish.
Still a big leap.
And yeah, hugely, because I'm going from like a basic tropical fish to a South American large growing cichlid.
Right. So these are some nice guppies. I'm looking at it on the screen right now. It's like it looks like it has a red nose, red tail.
Yeah, I think that those are red koi tuxedo guppies. I think they're called, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, those are pretty. Those are pretty
koi
cool.
Tuxedo guppies. Yeah, I had them. They came up from Germany, actually, from a breeder.
Wow, man.
So I went through a lot of trouble to get those fish. I've never seen them over here. I
haven't seen that
in New York.
Yeah, I've only seen the weird, the regular colored ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice fish.
I went through a little bit of trouble. I had seen them on a YouTube channel, and I instantly fell in love with the color combination, because the males, they have like a deep blue body, and then like that orange reddish nose and tail. It creates like a lot of contrast in the fish that looks very beautiful. And then if you put them in a really nicely aquascape tank, they just stand out. And they're just really beautiful fish to have in a fish tank.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. I mean, if you're gonna put in the time for a hobby like this, you might as well get what you want, you know. And it shows in the stuff that you get. I mean, this is definitely a good looking fish there.
Yeah, I was immediately attracted to the color combination. I just like that navy bluish on reddish orange color. The contrast between the two colors is beautiful. So it immediately caught my eyes, and I was like, I have to find out what I have to do to get that fish. And I looked all over, and over here in New York, they weren't available. And then I had to go outside of the country and find out, and I was able to locate somebody that was able to ship a male and 2 females. And then I put them in really good conditions, and they bred for me. So I have a couple of, I don't want to call them fried, because they're like juveniles now.
Right.
And I have them in a small holding container, and they're growing up beautifully in that
pretty
container.
Fast.
So,
yeah. Right. And you feed, what are you feeding them?
On the tail and nose. I'm feeding them a combination of flake food and pelleted foods. I try to keep it. I try to keep it basic, where the flake food is great because it's soft. And
that's all they really need anyway.
Where they can just,
It's heavily fortified.
Try to keep a bit of variety. Yeah, a bit of variety. And then on occasion, when I get a chance, I try to hatch out some baby brine shrimp and give them a live feed of baby brine shrimp to give them all those extra nutrients so they could grow a little faster.
Right. Hold on, I'm just saying hello to the chat of Foxy's Fishes. She has a good channel there. You should check her out too.
Oh yeah, definitely great person.
Roxanne. I just said hello in the chat there. But yeah, she has a great channel, so anybody should, who doesn't know, most people know her already, but if you don't, go check out that channel. She does good live streams too. They're pretty entertaining. Hold on, let me read the... Oh, you can see the chat on your end too?
Yeah.
All right, you can read that one then.
Aquatics is asking a question.
Yeah, you go ahead and read that one.
Crypt Keeper Aquatics is asking a question. Any tips on breeding angels? Is it possible to do it without intervening or removing eggs? Yes, you can. But in the beginning, you know, angelfish, just like us as parents, we have to learn how to take care of our children. So the angelfish in the beginning, there's going to be a few hiccups where they might eat the eggs because they feel threatened. Maybe you get past the eggs, you're at the stage where they're wigglers. There's a possibility that they can eat the wigglers to remove them from the tank because they feel threatened and they want to get them out of the way so that way you don't do any damage to the fish. But with time and patience, if you allow the fish to learn, they're gonna end up doing it within due time. It's just a matter of being patient, allowing nature to take its course, and allowing the fish to learn how to parent raise the fry. I've done it both ways. I've done it artificially, where I've reached in and removed the eggs and raised the fry artificially, and I've also done it parent raising. Unfortunately, I don't have that footage now because I was involved with a person at the that removed my content from my channel, so it's lost content that maybe I might revisit if I have the time to in the later future.
Right, that's unfortunate. Because you had a lot of good videos up before. I mean, you still have some good ones up there, but you had a lot.
Yeah, I had about seven years worth of angelfish breeding videos. I had super reds, koi angels. I had a black marble with a gold pearl scale. Quite a few different pairs, and I bred thousands of angelfish. So it was a huge learning experience for me.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of potential. You have a lot of good things coming anyway, so.
Yeah, eventually we'll get to that point, you know, with time and work. Right now I'm enjoying the aquascaping for what it is because I've kept a lot of fish in bare bottom tanks due to the reason that I wanted to make it as easy as I can for maintenance on myself. And the whole aquascaping thing began because I had a female friend that always kept plants in the tank and always looked beautiful, and she kept on pushing me, you gotta keep plants, you gotta keep plants. And I was always saying, no, I don't want to put anything in the tank, I don't feel like cleaning extra stuff. And one day I said, let me give it a shot, and it snowballed into what it is right now. And now I love aquascaping. I can't get enough of it, and I wish I could put out more than I'm actually putting out right now. But I'm just trying to do everything at a pace so that way I can keep the content running on my channel, keep people interested. But keep an eye on my channel. I got some great things coming for future content.
Right. I believe it. Let me just check the signal and everything here, make sure everything's still up with the stream. They say they're getting lag, so I don't know if my upload speed is messed up right now.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of it too. It's
let me check. Let me check my connection. Let me check the connection real quick. It was good when I started the stream. Let me see what's going on here. I mean, my download speeds are good, but let me see the upload speeds. That's what I have problems with, the upload speeds. Yeah, I mean, my upload speeds are dropping really bad right now, and I just don't know why.
Oh, maybe the amount of traffic that's on the internet right now being the Saturday night.
That could be
a lot of people using the internet at the same time. Yeah, so it might be throttling your internet speeds.
That's unfortunate. I wonder if it will still like. I wonder if like with OBS will it like will it upload the video the same way? If if people watch during the replay, will it be good?
it's a possibility. Maybe if you lower the quality on the content, or what resolution are you uploading right now?
Probably the 1080p.
Could be a little bit much. Try dropping it down to 720. That's usually what StreamYard goes at. I believe it's 720p.
Oh, that's probably why they do it like that.
Yeah, and then I noticed that nobody has any lag issues at that resolution.
Right.
So try that and see what happens.
Let me check it out. But you see, like, the call is separate from the video, so that's why the call doesn't break up at all.
Yeah.
I set it up like that in case, like the internet goes, like the call still runs. It's better. Let me see output. I probably can't change the stream settings while it's still going. Yeah, I can't change it while it's still going. It's still 1920 by 1080 at 60 frames per second.
Yeah, you have to set it up at the beginning, right? As you're going in.
Yeah, I'll wait it out and see if the signal gets better. Because I can't really do nothing about it right now, it looks like. Yeah, the internet's always the weakest link. Yeah, I need to get like monetized so I can get some high-speed fiber optic or something. I wonder if fiber optic people have that kind of issue. I wouldn't know. A lot of people got fiber optic. They don't even stream. They just do regular things on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm reading the chat now. Oh yeah, and I just want to repeat, anybody in the chat, if you wanna, you could also call in, right? I mean, I can't have like too many people on the call. It would be a little crowded, but you could also call in and ask questions too. We could take callers. Let me put my, you could call in through Instagram. Right now, Eric is on the Instagram. So if you call me on Instagram, you'll get through on here live. All right. So let me just post my link. Because we could accept call, because I think they want to ask questions anyway. So we'll see how many people we can get in anyway. All right. So if you guys call me on Instagram, you can get in on this live. You could talk through here. And when you're talking, you won't get the same. You're not going to get the same lag. From the video, you're just gonna hear us like real time almost. Oh, there's a concert in Yankee Stadium. Is that true, Stormtrooper?
There you go. Wow.
I didn't even know that. There's so much things you gotta look at before you start streaming. I gotta look at what Bad Bunny's doing. I didn't think that would affect me, but I guess it does.
He's eating up all the internet.
That's probably what it is. Play some Bad Bunny in the background. Should stop the lag. Yeah. Imagine if I play it and like for some reason his studio doesn't copy strike me. Like I doubt it though. They will. Like those. It's not him that copy strikes. It's his production studio that owns the music.
Oh yeah, no, his team will copy strike you in a heartbeat.
That's all they do. They got people that do that for a living.
Yeah. Course, with all the millions he's making, forget about it.
Right, it would be worth. I mean, I could do a short video with his like music, and I don't listen to his music, so. But I'm just saying, if I did a short with it in the background, maybe get some views off him. Yeah, I mean, I would play the copyrighted music if if they gave permission. Like, I don't mind playing more popular music. It's just I don't want to do that without their permission because the studio takes it very seriously. Yeah, if you guys want to play Bad Bunny music in your own homes while the stream's playing, you could do that, right? But if you call in, don't play the music on this call in, right? Because you get it gives trouble for my channel. I wonder if the stream balanced out a little bit. Did you notice a change?
Nope, still Still same thing.
I think my download speed got a little bit better, looks like.
Still buffering.
My download speed got a little bit better. That's unfortunate. But you know what it is? At concerts, everybody starts pulling out their phones and starts streaming. You know, those type of events, or everybody's video calling each other nowadays.
Stormtrooper's having a field day with the Bad Bunny. He wants you to play the Bad Bunny in the background.
Yeah, I don't know about that. There's also some YouTuber, there's a creator, not just YouTubers, there's a creator fight going on. It's pay-per-view though. I'll probably watch some replays sometime later, because some YouTuber that I watch is actually fighting a boxing match. I might have to watch that.
That's hilarious.
I mean, I could show clips of his content on here. I just don't want to show too much. I don't want to get copy strike.
It's not worth the chance.
I do keep track of some things that might be like semi-popular besides aquarium stuff. Hold on, let me paste my link in case anybody wants to call in. You have to call in on my Instagram, and I'll add you into this call here, or you could send a message on my Instagram, and I'll call you back and merge you onto this call with Eric. Also, if any of you want me to pull up your content on here and show it, I mean, even though my signal is lagging, I'm just trying to make the best of it, but I can show your content on here, and you could come up here with Eric and I, and you could just ask questions or talk about what you got going on. Let me just give it a minute, see if anybody wants to call in. I mean, so far it seems the stream is going well, except for the signal.
Yeah, now you seem to be going smoothly across.
Okay.
There's no buffering going on right now.
All right. It's unfortunate when that happens. Not much you could do about it. But that's why I do a lot of pre-recorded stuff.
Again.
But that's why I do a lot of pre-recorded stuff. I mean, I could do a pre-recorded interview. It's just there's a little bit more prep work that goes into it. I might have to try that though, a pre-recorded interview. I mean, the biggest channels out there do pre-recorded interviews. Nobody's doing live interviews. And I could see why. You can still hear me clearly on here, right?
Yeah, there's no problem with the audio at all.
Alright, cool. Because that's going on my phone, so if the Wi-Fi goes out, it'll still go to the 4G signal. They're still asking questions in there.
Yep, let me take a look and see if I can be a little more interactive with the chat. Crypt Keeper Aquatic says, that's helpful. I've seen some eggs on the glass and an angel guarding them, but the next day they were all gone. Never any offspring yet. Like I said before, it's just a matter of time and giving them a chance to learn how to take care of the eggs properly and raise the offspring. So it's just a matter of being patient. I know it's an exciting process, and you're looking forward to seeing that cloud of fry swimming around the parent. Sometimes, I have to be honest with you though, there are certain parents that aren't really great at parenting the wigglers of fry, and they may eat them all the time. It's just a matter of time of you have to give them time to gauge them and check their behavior. And if they continue to do it for a long time, then it might be best to go in there and artificially raise the young yourself.
I think that about answers it. Let's see, we got some.
Sometimes a good idea is to put a piece of PVC pipe in the tank so that way the angels can lay the eggs on the PVC pipe or like a slab of slate rock, you can lean that up against the glass because the angels like to lay eggs on vertical surfaces. So that'll give you an option to be able to remove the slate rock and place that into a jar or container and artificially raise those eggs outside of the tank.
That makes sense.
What I used to do to cover all my bases is I would give the angels a couple of areas in the tank to pick and choose to spawn sites. And then what I would do is remove some of the eggs and raise them artificially, and then allow them to raise the other eggs by parent raising, so that way they can learn. So if they failed on their side, I still had a chance on my side to raise the eggs that I pulled from the tank.
Right. Did you use breeding cones, or you just used slate rock?
I use slabs of slate. It's like a rectangular piece of slate that I leaned up on both sides of the tank, and I try to give them different areas to pick and choose of what spawn site they feel most comfortable with. Simply because you put a piece of slate in an area of the tank doesn't guarantee that they're gonna spawn in that area. They're gonna want to go around the tank and choose a area that they're comfortable with, that they feel is not so threatened by the other fish that might be in. If you have a community setup, or maybe other angels in a breeding group. Right. So you have to give them options of where they want to breed.
That's probably why a lot of people use those breeding cones, because they're easy to like reposition.
And move around and remove from the tank,
And even I think breeding mops, so different things that are easy to move.
Yeah, but it depends on the fish. Like angel fish, they like to breed on hard surfaces.
Right, so the breeding cones probably.
Pick, like the intake of, breeding cones. I use the breeding slate is what I use, and then they use the glass on the tank. Maybe they might use an Amazon sword leaf that's very broad and upright. There's a lot of surfaces that they prefer to breed on, but spawning mops, I've never heard of them breeding on spawning mops.
I guess they're probably different types of fish breed on spawning mops.
Yeah, it depends on the fish. Like goldfish would use spawning mops.
Probably. And then guppies use basically anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, they'll drop them off at the nearest bus stop. They'll drop the babies off.
Yeah, guppies tend to crowd a tank.
Yeah, very fast.
Let's see.
But you have a lot of different ways you could go about keeping guppies where you don't have to necessarily breed them. You could keep a group of females, or you could keep a group of males. Males are always a lot more stunning than the females are, and then you can do basically a male guppy community setup of all males. You can do different color varieties without fear of them intermingling and mixing the colors if you want to keep things pure. And then you'll get like hundreds of guppies with just a rainbow of colors in the tank going back and forth. Then you pair that with aquascaping the tank, making it look natural. It can create a beautiful centerpiece in your home.
Yeah, these guppies those guppies you got are pretty nice. I like those. I'm just gonna click on. I'm just gonna open that video again, because I do like the angels, but I don't think you have any angel. Your videos got deleted, so you don't have any of the angel content up right now.
Yeah, no, I had
I wish I could show it.
Put so much work into my angel fish, yeah.
But yeah, your guppies are still nice though. I'll just put that up here. For guppies, I'm used to seeing the common guppies that everybody has.
Yeah, me also. So I said, let me just visit guppy content and just do something that's a little bit different and try to showcase something that's
How do these guppies go with tetras? Will the tetras bother them?
Depending on the tetra, I wouldn't recommend neon tetras, but I believe cardinal tetras might be a little bit better off. Light tetras. You got to be careful with. It's not so much the guppy going after the other fish; it's the other fish.
Yeah, the tetras are faster than guppies.
And tetras can be a little bit nippy depending on the schools. Like if you have too small of a school. Guppies can tend to lean a little bit more towards being a nippy fish. So that tail being flowing and huge is like a target. It's like, you know, look at me, I'm here, and the guppies can be, you know, they can go after that fin. So
right. Yeah, I got. So right now,
trial and error.
Right now, I got the 2 tanks. The little tank just has ember tetras in it, but I was thinking about moving the ember tetras to the to the 14-gallon tank anyway. So
yeah, I think with guppies, I think ember tetras are great because I've kept ember tetras with Neocaridina shrimp with absolutely no issues of any type of aggression towards the shrimp.
Right.
So I believe that the guppies would be even more well off than the shrimp because they're a much larger fish.
Right.
That the ember tetras might just steer clear of whenever they come through. So I think that ember tetras will be a great fish to put alongside the guppies.
Yeah, that would probably be cool. You think a 4-gallon is? I mean, my 4-gallon has a built-in filters and all that. I mean, it doesn't get the water has. I tend to have a low nutrient problem, so.
Yeah, I mean a 4-gallon for what? For guppies?
Yeah, it's like a temporary thing.
A 4-gallon. I wouldn't do it long term, to be honest.
Right. Especially if they breed.
Rate that the guppies, yeah, if they multiply, then you're gonna have a problem on your hands right away with water parameters and water quality issues.
Right.
Just the space, I would say a good starting point is a 10-gallon tank for those fish because of the amount of activity that they showcase.
Right, I see.
They're constantly swimming back and forth, up and down. They cover all the columns, the water columns in the tank. They feed at every level. They're very social fish where they mingle in groups. I would just like to give them a little bit more space, and then, you know, being a person like yourself, you like to do a little bit of aquascaping yourself, keeping plants and everything. That'll also give you the option of keeping a lot of plants in that tank and dressing it up a little bit without fear of taking the guppy swim room.
Right. Hold on, I'm just looking at some. Yeah, I probably consider some guppies. I right now I just got the tetras. But I didn't know like they have a nicer. Well, these are definitely nicer than what I'm used to seeing.
Yeah. Oh, like I said, John. My guppies are actually breeding at the moment. I have 2 very pregnant females and a small group of juveniles that I'm raising. Right. And for those future generations, I could possibly give you some if you want, if you're interested.
Yeah, that's not bad. Oh, for anybody who doesn't know, he lives very. Yeah. I found out that he lives very close to me. Which is you know, interesting. You don't find people in the fish community that live that close to each other by coincidence.
Yeah, it's great because it's convenient. We both keep fish and we can you know, exchange plants, exchange fish, and one hand washes the other. So it's a great opportunity to expand on what we're already doing.
Right. It says I would have for the video. So I'll let you know about that one. Well, you let me know when they actually give birth and all that.
Yeah, I'm actually in the process of moving those juveniles. I was testing the water. I had put one in with the adult guppies, and they took a little bit of an interest. And I think that baby was too small, and they kind of had that I want to eat you look in their eyes. And I managed to get the baby out before they could get to it. And I want the babies to grow out, the juveniles to grow out, get a little bit bigger where they're not so bite-sized anymore, and the adults won't look at them as food.
Right.
So I'm power feeding them at the moment.
Right, because I also got, like I've told you before, I got some plants to trim. So if you need plants, you can change that too.
Definitely interested in that.
I got quite a few different species that you might not have.
Yeah. That'll be great because I can use that to also propagate my own plants with trimmings from your tank, and I can use those for future aquascaping projects as well.
Right. And you already do you use pothos for filtration?
No. I'm thinking about doing like, and I don't want to say emerge plant, but like house plants over the top.
If you need pothos, I could give you some pothos because I have to trim that too.
Oh yeah,
I have different varieties.
Forget about it.
I got like 3 different varieties.
All right.
And I have I have Monstera minima. That's the one with the leaf with the fenestrations, and that one's growing fast.
Yeah,
that grows faster than Pothos.
Yeah, and it's working out. The Monstera is working out. So I'm looking to go like maybe the fern route. I'm really interested. There's some beautiful ferns that I'm looking to do.
Right.
And, incorporate into like an aquascape where you get an above water grow out.
Right.
You get like a below water and above water. I have a great idea for a future aquascape where I would like to incorporate like a grass bottom and like an above water setup as well. So I'm definitely looking to do something like that in a future video.
Right. So yeah, just let me know. Like we could probably exchange. I could give you some of these plants because I'm gonna cut them anyway. You know, I'm running out of space and things to do with them. So.
Yeah. All you would have to do is just take a plant like that. Is take a
paper towel in a bag.
Paper towel.
And a Ziploc.
And a little Ziploc bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just place the cuttings in the Ziploc.
Right. Just let me know. Like I could hook you up with that stuff.
Definitely. We're definitely gonna have to catch up with that.
Because like I ordered, most of the stuff I ordered online, so I put in money, so it doesn't make sense for both of us to buy it twice.
Oh yeah. I know. I'm totally there with you. I actually had some Rotala that I ordered that melted on me in the mail.
Right. Do you need do you need Java moss?
Mosses. I'm experimenting right now with flame moss and also peacock moss.
Well, if you need Java moss, I got you too. It grows so fast.
Oh yeah, I know that. Java at the moment, I've done some stuff with Java in the past, so at the current moment, I'm not really interested in it.
Right, it's too fast.
But, maybe down the line. Yeah, it will overtake a tank like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah, I know. All right, well, I got a few different plants there. We'll probably exchange some of this stuff. I'll check out them guppies too. I mean, those are pretty nice. I normally wouldn't get guppies, but this might be interesting.
Yep.
These are a little better quality.
I know that these guppies are gonna be, yeah, they fetch for a pretty decent price as well. So
yeah,
and, they're more like a designer guppy when you look at the big picture.
Right. And you wait, does your Amano shrimp ever breed?
Oh no, Amano shrimp don't breed in fresh water.
Right, because some people say that you have to increase the salinity, but there have been people that just dropped the temperature and got their Amano shrimp to breed.
Yeah, no, they'll lay eggs, but the eggs will not hatch out.
Right.
They'll lay eggs around the tank.
Because there have been people who got them to hatch in but who knows? They probably have harder water.
I don't believe in fresh water. Yeah, I don't believe in fresh water if they've done that. I've heard about it being in brackish, where there's some salt added and there is a salinity level to it.
Maybe the person's natural well water had some salt in it.
Fresh water. It could be possibly.
Could have been just some odd location.
I don't believe the person tested, but to my knowledge, they breed in brackish water. That's like the Neurite snail. Same thing.
Yeah, I had Neurites and I used to have a reef tank. I did a coral, the reef tanks before I did freshwater.
Oh yeah, I've spoken to you about that before.
Yeah, so I had the Neurite snails and all of that, and turbo snails and all of that. Astrea snails.
Neurite snails, you can adapt them to completely saltwater setups.
I had Neurite snails in my reef tank.
And they live no problem.
I didn't even know they were. I didn't even know they were for freshwater.
Yeah. No, they come from freshwater. They live their lives in freshwater, and then they come up to brackish water to lay eggs.
Yeah.
So any type of water has like.
I think these came from Florida. I think I've ordered these from like Florida. So in Florida, they probably have them where the freshwater meets the saltwater. But these lived just fine in a reef tank.
Yeah. And I've had females in a freshwater setup, and it's the most annoying thing. Where the females lay eggs all over the saltwater tank on the glass, and those things are indestructible. You can't get them off the glass for nothing. It's the most painstaking job to remove those eggs, and they can be an eyesore because they lay them all over. One female can produce a bunch of eggs, and then before you know it, you're looking at polka dots all over the tank.
Right, that's terrible.
So I try to quarantine my nearite snails, and what I do is I separate the males from the females, and then I use the males in my plant tank setups, like my show setups.
Right.
I'll use males in the show setups, but even at that, the nearite snail can break the water surface and leave the tank.
Right.
So ramshorn snails don't do that. Once they hit the water surface, they turn back down and go back down, stay within the tank.
Yeah, I like the ramshorn snails.
Yeah, I like the colors on them. You get the red, blue, the silver, whitish color on the shells.
Right.
And they do a wonderful job. But in my opinion, the nearite algae removal is 100 times better.
Oh yeah. I also
definitely.
I've also seen the fish will eat the baby ramshorn snails. I've seen that happen. The tetras will eat them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't have a. I saw them at first. They were laying a lot of eggs before I had fish. When I added tetras, the eggs start to disappear. You never see them again.
All right.
And then I seen them actually eat the. They're looking for the. You can see them looking at the leaves closely. They're looking for snails to eat.
All right. Well, it's a food source for them. And then the ramshorns, they breed at such a high rate, so it's not really a big hit to the colony. You know.
Yeah, it's good, especially like if you're not like if you don't feed your tank for a couple of days, like the fish they find food in there. So ramshorns are a good source for that.
And they regulate according to how much you feed, so I try not to overfeed.
Yeah, never overfeed.
The snail population will overtake the whole tank. So.
Right. There was a lot of like debate. You know, some people were talking about how people used to use undergravel filters. Some people want to bring back the undergravel filter thing, and they call it like what's it, anoxic filters and all that. But they say like how the tanks with just the deep bottoms, deep substrate, or just regular substrate, no undergravel. They say how like eventually it becomes toxic. But I think if you don't overfeed, I don't know. You probably never experienced that. You probably have to wait like 50 to 100 years.
It also depends on, if you have plants in your tank as well, because anything that builds up in the substrate, the plants will absorb.
Right. So they were saying that the plant roots become compacted, but I'm thinking like what they do on farms is they actually they poke at the soil, they till the soil to aerate the soil, and they also uproot some plants and move them around. They don't keep everything the same for years.
Yeah.
Because some of the things they said, like some of the anoxic filter people.
Especially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of those anoxic undergravel filter people, they said like, you know how they talk about the roots getting compacted? That happens with undergravel filters and those type of systems too.
Yeah.
But they just assume that they assume that we just leave our tanks, our plants just grow, we never move things around.
Yeah. But you get a lot of that. For me growing up, what I was taught and what I learned is with different types of substrates, like the gravel substrate where there's a lot of pockets where water can pass through and there's a lot of flow. You get a lot of that with your aquasoil substrates as well. You get a lot of pockets in the substrate.
Right, good substrate.
Pass through, gases pass through. Exactly. Now, when you're using a very fine
like sand, sand gets compacted.
Exactly, you get depending on the sand you use.
Yeah, but even if you
very fine sand,
right. A lot of times they cap soil with sand, right? But eventually the sand just mixes in with the soil anyway because of the density of the sand.
Yeah. But the thing is that you got to look at it this way. Now you have a substrate that has different sizes, so that's where it doesn't compact so much. So depending on the sand, if you use very fine sand and it's like a sand-only substrate, and then you go in and you mess around with the substrate, then you can release gases into the atmosphere of the tank. And what happens is those gases can be very toxic and can create an imbalance in the tank. Excuse me. And it throws something out of whack, can throw your ammonia out of whack, nitrates, throwing the fish into shock and change the balance of the tank. So certain sands, I try to avoid certain sands. And I try to go like for a fine grain sand, but not a sand that's very, very, very fine. I feel that when you put it in, it's going to become compacted.
Right.
And then with the sand, if you look, some of my previous setups, when I was setting up with sand, I was putting crushed lava rock in the sand.
Right.
To create points where it breaks up that compaction within the sand.
Right.
And then I was using just a fine sand substrate, not an ultra fine.
Right,
so I was trying to, help the sand out. You can use gravel within the sand. You can use crushed lava rock and stuff like that.
Right, that's what I use. EcoComplete, basically crushed lava rock.
Yeah.
and it works good.
Complete, I believe. Eco-Complete, I believe, is aqua soil substrate that's has no nutrients in it, right?
It's a crushed lava rock.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. And it has It basically they ship it in the pack with tannic acid, right? To preserve, like they say they add like bacteria to it or whatever. It preserves it. It keeps the bacteria like dormant. But the thing is, that type of rock, there's a word for it. It basically attracts nutrient ions towards its own molecules, and it holds it.
Yeah.
So it's good at holding nutrients so that the plant roots could oxidize the nutrients back out.
Yeah. I usually use it in my substrate to bulk up the substrate somewhat and to help the plant roots to receive also oxygen within the substrate, not to suffocate the plant from the roots.
Right. And if you take a magnet basically and you put the magnet next to the Eco, this is the same reason I don't use magnetic cleaners for the glass, that it will pick up the Eco-Complete. Because there's iron particles on it.
Iron inside, yeah. Just like with aqua soil, same thing.
Yes, I don't mess with magnet cleaners on that.
That was actually bringing me to my next point, because one of the options I have lined up, I was thinking about a sand path, about experimenting with a sand path. And I'm like, all right, now if I put shrimp in that and maybe a couple of fish, they may waft the sand or the substrate onto the sand path. I know it's going to look great at first, but I'm like, all right, it might get a little bit sloppy down the road because the fish are moving things, maybe the shrimp are moving things.
Right.
And then if I had the option of using like a small magnet at the end of a stick or something to pick up whatever aqua soil might be in the sand path, just to clean it up and But I'm like, I really want to do it because it's something I want to get under my belt. But I know it's something that's not going to be really like a long-term thing, because I know the fish are going to waft the aqua soil onto the sand, or the shrimp are going to move the sand particles onto the aqua soil. It's going to be a little bit of a messy thing later on. But I might just do it anyway, just for kicks.
Right. I'm just looking at the bag of Eco-Complete on the web just to read. There's a word for it, what it does with nutrients. Let me see. There's a word for it. I just don't remember. It says, hold on. Let me see if I can bring the image onto this window. Never mind. I keep it on this window off screen, but just reading the label. Just trying to zoom in.
Yeah.
Let me see. It says it contains volcanic basal. Yeah, it's basically a basal substrate. I know it basically absorbs different nutrients and holds it. But anyway, it is volcanic. It says contains. It says it volcanic, but the picture on the website's a little bent, so I can barely read what's behind it. But it is. It says something like basaltic rock or something, volcanic.
Yeah.
But it is absorbing.
Yeah, they all.
It is absorbing nutrients and holding it.
Even the aqua soils.
Yeah, I like crab.
That's all.
Right.
You like what?
I like the brand Cribsy. Cribsy, they produce the Eco-Complete substrate, but I used to use their stuff for the reef tanks. I used to use their crushed coral substrate.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Right, that's why when I did planted tanks, at first I started with the sea chem fluorite, but then I really wanted to try another Cribsy product.
That's how I started with the red sea chem fluorite, the iron-based substrate.
Well, I had the regular one.
And yeah, I was producing some really beautiful red plants, but what happened was that the substrate was so sharp that it was damaging the roots of the plants.
That's probably, yeah, so I had... Right, in that tank, I'm trying to grow that dwarf hair plant, that dwarf hair grass.
Dwarf hair grass?
It doesn't grow well in that tank with that substrate, with the sea chem fluorite. That's probably why. It's probably the wrong type of substrate for it.
And the thing is that dwarf hair grass is supposed to respond very well to iron-based substrates. It requires iron as a supplement.
Right, so I got the regular sea chem fluorite, so it probably doesn't have a lot of iron.
So that could be possibly it.
That's probably what it is. Not enough nutrients.
But I can't see it really being a problem of the roots not being able to penetrate the substrate.
No, I see the roots. Like they're growing, but they're not growing fast. But I also have low nutrients in that tank because of all the pothos growing. It's a lot. I have a lot of the pothos strain is very long. That's why I have to cut it.
But the thing is you're using low nutrients in your setup. Are you using injected CO2?
No CO2.
Yeah, so you gotta keep the nutrients low, because the CO2, the only thing it's gonna do is cause the plant to absorb the nutrients a lot faster. Then you have to up the lighting with that as well. So if you're in a regular setup, you have to bring the lighting level down a little bit, and then you have to decrease the amount of nutrient intake that the plant is taking out.
That's probably the way to go for growing like a nice bed of grass.
I have I have a 10-gallon tank in the plant farm, and I'm growing dwarf hair grass with absolutely no external nutrients besides what's coming in the substrate itself. And also the lighting level is it's dim, almost off. And I'm on a twin star light, which is a very high intensity light.
Expensive one too.
And I have it on a dimmer switch.
Right.
And I brought the lighting level down to about, I think it's at 20%. And the dwarf hair grass is not growing super fast, but it is super healthy. It's sending out runners, and the rooting system is really good.
Right.
So I know I'm on the right path, and I know I'm on the right path to getting that plant to grow and what's needed for that plant to grow without any nutrients or anything. I'm not using any type of fertilizers, root tabs, none of that. I'm not using any of that.
Right. I use root tabs.
Yeah. I'm not using none of that at the moment. It's a filterless setup. There's no flow in the water besides maybe what the fish are wafting around with their tails. And that's about it. And then I just keep, and whatever nutrients the fish are providing in the form of,
waste.
Poop and stuff like that, waste, and maybe some uneaten food that might get by them. And that's about it.
Right.
And then once a month, I do a very small water change, or I'll do a top up. And then whatever water you reintroduce to the tank, there's a lot of minerals in that water as well.
Right, from the tap.
So the plants have to adjust. Yeah, so the plants have to adjust to all of those changes, and they learn to adapt.
Right.
And in my situation, those plants are growing. I couldn't ask for them to be any more healthy. I'm surprised. I thought that they were going to wither away to nothing, and I was just going to have a little area that was, bald, and there was nothing growing there.
Right.
And actually, everything in that tank is thriving. I have those stems that I have in the tank have reached the water surface, and I have to trim them again. It seems like that's happening every week. So.
Yeah. I'm just checking to see what's going on.
The funny thing is the plant that I believe should do the best in the tank is actually doing worse than any of the other plants, and that's the pearlweed.
Pearlweed.
The pearlweed is basically weed. It spreads all over and overtakes the tank. But in this setup, for some reason, it's not doing that. So.
Right. Right now, I'm just checking to see what time. There's a fight. This YouTuber is going to fight. Fire. Okay, so the Dean Green. 8 p.m. UK time. What is 8 p.m. UK time in the US? Let me check. Give me a minute. Let's take a break from the aquarium stuff for a moment. So wait, let's see if anybody else comes in too. I already had an idea that we wouldn't get a lot of people on a Saturday at this time, but we'll probably catch people watching in the morning. I'm just looking for the time of this fight. Let's see, UK to US time. I want to see the conversion. United Kingdom is 5 hours ahead of the United States, so 8 p.m. their time. 1 a.m. here? Oh, the fight's not till 1 a.m. All right, so I have nothing to show right now. I was trying to find out if he won the fight, but it didn't even happen yet. Oh well. So the UK is 5 hours ahead. I'll remember that. Wait a minute. Am I wrong there? They're 5 hours ahead. Then the fight already happened. So yeah, I got that wrong. Never mind. So the fight should have happened already then. If they're yeah, the fight should have happened. I don't know. Whatever. See, I was thinking about doing commentary for like popular stuff like that, but I don't know if it would work on this channel. I don't know if the viewers are interested in that. Let me just check. Let me see results. Versus Thompson. Time in progress. Yeah, I can't find anything about it. I guess it did. I don't know if it happened or not. Oh wait, I think he did. I think he actually did box. Wait, let me just check this real quick. I'll make sure the sound is off on this. Don't want copyright. Just looking, just to know who won the fight. What a real fight was like, to be honest with you, sir, it would be all rainbows and candy. What was the toughest part of the night? I think he won. Am I not going through my stamina? I think he was out of breath during the fight. I was not gonna box again. It's funny. It's a YouTuber. Apparently got out of breath because he's always like smoking those cigars. So even though they're not always, they're not inhaling directly with cigars, they are getting a lot of smoke in the background. Let's see, hold on. You don't keep track of any of the fighting stuff?
Not at the moment. Just been really busy with everything I got going on.
Right. I was just looking at this one because this is a YouTuber that I watch and stuff.
Yeah, I try to keep up with the MMA and stuff like that, and I've seen highlights stuff and stuff like that. So here and there, whenever I'm afforded the chance to.
Right. Well, the guy I wanted to win one, but he was out of breath. But I imagine that he would be. He wasn't taking like the cardio stuff too seriously. He's not really a boxer anyway.
They're doing it more for the spectacle and to bring in viewers.
Right.
And recognition, just to get exposure or anything.
A lot of money too. A lot of these YouTubers have some of these YouTubers that haven't been like, they're not like the top YouTubers making all the millions, so they needed the cash.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and the exposure, you're being broadcasted over,
Right. So that's why I was keeping track of that fight. It seems to be an interesting one. Yeah, I was thinking about like reviewing stuff like that, but I'll probably have to do a separate channel for that.
Yeah, possibly. Sometimes it's good to stick to one topic and not go to too many things, because then people come to your channel to expecting to see a certain thing and they get something else. It discourages them from wanting to watch more content.
Right. It says there's 3 people watching the stream right now. You see, like I was looking at participants in the chat, so there's no one chatting, so I didn't know if anybody was watching, but there are people watching. So,
yeah.
Interesting. But yeah, it's hard to if nobody calls in, it's hard to know like or it leaves questions. It's hard to know what to talk about next. People want to know. Because I would talk about like because you're into car stuff too, so I would have talked about car stuff. But there's no one in the comments, Do you do you have any type of on the engine? Is there any type of turbo?
No, I actually have a kit that I'm building up. So I have a kit and I have internal parts, pistons, connecting rods, head, springs, all that stuff.
Is it, right, is it aluminum?
So camshafts, all that stuff that comes with. Is what aluminum? The engine is
right. The rods and everything.
No, the rods and all that. That's it's more cast iron. That's more. I forgot the material. It's been so long since I've been talking about the material. Yeah.
So because you're not using it for racing.
Oh yes, I am.
Because a lot of the racing people will use the aluminum rods.
Yeah, but it depends on the setup that you're going for, because you got to make it bulletproof. If you put you throw too much pressure at it, you can blow the engine. Right. In a heartbeat.
Oh yeah. With aluminum shatters, he'll throw the rod through the engine. Yeah,
forget about it. And it's not so much about the aluminum shattering; it's more about it bending, because the aluminum is more malleable than steel, so it's a lot easier to bend under pressure.
Well, the anodized aluminums are very hard. They just shatter. Like they take a lot of force, and then when they go, they shoot out aluminum. But the iron rod's more likely to bend and deform.
Yeah, my pistons are forged pistons, or what I have. So it depends on what aspect of the engine you're talking about will determine what material is being used. Like the material that's in the head is all titanium, like valves, valve springs, retainers, all that stuff. That's all titanium because it has to be lightweight. Yeah. So when the cam spin is the least amount of rotational weight against the camshaft. Right. So up top is titanium, and then down below everything is forged pistons. Right. So everything is forged steel down below. So I wanted all that. For the numbers that I'm looking at, I'd rather overbuild and make sure that it can take more than what I'm actually building for to compensate for that, and then I don't have to worry about it. So like the turbo's rated more for the amount of power I would have put through the car, because I'm more concerned about my safety as an MacLeod. Because the car's so lightweight that if you throw too much power at it, you have a roll cage? It's very dangerous for the street. No, that's something that I'm looking to get into down the line.
So you're not racing like past 100 miles per hour on certified tracks, right?
No, what happens is they do it by time.
Okay, because they inspect the cars.
10-second pass. Yeah, exactly. They inspect the cars for safety for your general race. Right. But once you hit a certain time on the track, once you exceed a certain time, then you have to go in and get certified roll cage and all that stuff. Right. All right, that makes sense. You're forced into that for safety. I believe it's 10 seconds. If
right. A lot of times they're not using gasoline; they're using methanol at that point.
No, it depends on what your setup is. Your the system that's running the engine management system.
Right, they use methanol because it burns at a lower temperature. So when you're doing like let's say over 160 or close to 200 miles per hour, they start using methanol. It's much easier on the engine and it produces it's a higher octane.
Yeah, but your system has to be set up for that. Your
right.
And your engine management.
That's what I noticed. They all use custom built aluminum engines.
Yeah.
All from a single block of aluminum.
It depends on your setup, and yeah, it depends on your setup and what you're looking at. But you can go in there basically with a gasoline engine with no problem, and just run numbers because there are a lot of people that get 14, 15 second pulls on, on stock engines. So.
Right. So yeah. So what I was watching, was 6 and 7 second pulls.
Yeah.
So that's methanol and all aluminum engines.
Setups and yeah, you're talking about that's the outlaw class. You don't know how hard it is to build a car to get into that class.
Oh no,
when you're dealing with like classes where I'm at, you could be looking at more realistic times could be 13, 14, 15 seconds.
Right.
Sometimes 10-second cars, depending on what your build is. 9, 8 seconds. 9 seconds is a little bit more realistic for what we're looking at.
Right, that makes sense.
But, depending on the setup.
All right, I see what you're doing. So, yeah, because you're not really doing it for a career. A lot of the guys who are racing 6-second, 7-second cars are doing it for a career.
That's more hobby leisure.
You need to get a sponsor for that.
Hobby leisure. Yeah, I'll forget about that. No.
Let me just say hi to the chat real quick.
Driving the car as this.
No, I get you doing it as more of a hobby thing, which is still cool.
Yeah.
I watch I don't race obviously, but I watch the races on YouTube when they do the drag racing. So I'm watching the professional races. So everything I know is mostly about the Texas Speed, custom engines, and all that.
Oh yeah, forget about that. You're talking about that's outlaw class. You're talking about cars that do 5-6 seconds.
Right, that's all I'm watching really. So that's where my information is coming from.
2,000 horsepower cars.
Right. Yeah. You got I think it's the 70mm turbos, something like that, the biggest one or whatever. Some people have the big turbos, but you need to have the RPMs to even be idling enough to
It has to be all tuned, and everything has to be tuned together. So
yeah, you basically gotta get those big turbos spooling while you're at the start line.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of power.
Response too. So it's a lot of that's more power than you need for the street. Forget about that. And the car is only 2,200 pounds, so it weighs next to nothing compared to your more modern day cars. They're averaging 3,500, almost 4,000 pounds.
Yes, I see that. That's still pretty cool. I mean, you have the Honda Civic, which is a pretty reliable machine.
Yeah, I have the 2-door coupe 1999.
What kind of paint job you have? Is it a custom paint job or is it factory?
Paints. No, factory paints. Right. Silver with black. I have black with fiber hood, racy.
Dang.
The engine is the engine hasn't been opened up because I have a couple of other things to address with the car to get the car out on the street. As far as inspection and stuff like that is concerned. So just waiting for that to button itself up.
Yeah. So what do you do for racing with the catalytic converter? Because on the track they have open exhaust. So what are you doing when you get out on the street? Do you actually remove it?
There's always a happy medium. I actually use more of a racing catalytic converter, which is a high flow catalytic converter.
Right.
That has less restrictions, but it's still legal.
So okay. All right. Passes emissions.
How much power and how much? Yeah, it passes emissions, but the car in the state that it's in right now does not pass emissions because the car it has an engine management system and the OBD sensors don't recognize the computer.
Right.
Because everything has to be done via laptop with a program.
Right.
So I can't go to your regular mechanic and have them read the codes and stuff like that. So I have to have everything has to be with a specialized mechanic.
Right.
It's a little bit more of a pain, but it's the way I have to go about things for now.
A lot of people are on the YouTube racing thing. A lot of people are sponsored by Holly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they have their own computer. I've seen that. I've seen how they tune them and all that.
Yeah. So I'm along those ways right now. I have my cars tuned on an all-motor setup right now. The compression is slightly higher than the factory compression, and I'm making a bit more power than the factory power. The car's fast. The car's is pretty quick.
And lightweight too.
It's a lot faster than a lot of your.
What tires do you prefer?
I use a little bit more of a softer compound, but I stay on an all-season setup.
Okay, because you still use it as your daily.
Yeah, it's not actually my daily now because I haven't driven it in a while due to the inspection thing. But I gotta keep the car within a safe and drivable range because there comes a point where it can become too dangerous to drive.
Yes, especially I know slicks are basically illegal on the roads.
On the street, yeah.
Yeah, because they don't have grip when it rains. I mean, they just skate off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, forget about it. You're not getting any type of traction. And then you have to remember something. You have a lot of cars on the road, so whenever it rains, you get a lot of oil that comes up out of the ground that sits on the water's surface, and that can create a really dangerous situation if you're not riding on the proper tire.
That makes sense. Then again, a lot of the racers when they do the I forget what they call it. They have different events, but when they do the event where they have to drive the car, they just they carry the slicks on the trailer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, it's hard to get sponsored for. It's a lot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's hard even getting sponsored for aquarium
it's so
stuff.
saturated. Yeah, because if you look at everything is super saturated right now.
Right.
The market, the YouTube is saturated now. If you get on YouTube and you look up aquariums or fish, there's a million people doing it. You know.
That's true.
And it's hard to get recognized in such a such a big sea of people, and to stick out and get recognized. It's, you know, I've been trying to do it for years, and it's not easy.
Well, I just reviewed 2 different lights by Hiker. They sent it to me for free to review.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, they reached out to me as well, but if you look up Hiker, they're actually reaching out to several people.
A lot of people.
And they're really oversaturated with the market as well, because they have, well, I don't know how many hundreds of people doing reviews on their lights, on their protein skimmers, on this, on that. So they actually reached out to me, and I was going to do my Iwagumi setup. I was going to use one of their lights.
Right.
And then I was like, I didn't want the light pulling too much attention away from the actual aquascape.
Right,
the explanation of the build process in the video. I didn't want to, you know, share that with the.
But it could have been like a separate video.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing it down the line, but I have so many lights already that, you know, what's another light? I'm not really in need of one. And then for those product reviews, it's so oversaturated that if you look at that light and you look up Higer 24/7, and then you look up product review, you're gonna be going up a list of videos that were created for that video. So I don't want to be, you know,
I still think it's good to do reviews, because you're basically showing your portfolio to other companies of what you can do.
Oh yeah. No, I've done that. I've had a sponsor actually, and I actually have an affiliate link for wetplants.com.
Right.
And the affiliate marketing code is Majestic10, which is 10% off whatever products you purchase. So in the checkout, you just put Majestic10. It gives you 10% off whatever plant products or anything you want to get off the website.
Are you trying to get sponsored again, like for different things for aquariums?
I mean, I would like to go a little bit more into affiliate marketing, to be honest with you. I would like to experiment with that.
It would help. So. I mean, even with because if you're doing these expensive hobbies like racing and aquariums, you might try to get sponsored in both different ways.
Yeah, you're definitely. I'm trying to get monetized right now. I have a couple of people that I'm working with and some things going on in the background. That as far as affiliate marketing is concerned, I would like to broaden my horizons with that and get involved with more companies. I've gotten involved with 3 companies, and it's been great. So I'm not really complaining, but I would like to get a little bit more invested.
It's always good.
Do a little bit more product marketing. Yeah.
That's not bad.
Probably do like Amazon and stuff like that. So I would like to do stuff like that. Just throw in a couple of affiliate links within every video too.
Right.
So,
do you use Instagram a lot?
I do have an Instagram channel with the same name, Majestic Cichlids, all one word, lowercase. I've done a couple of pictures on there. I would like to get into the photography aspect of Instagram. I find it to be fascinating.
Right, they do a lot of video now too.
Reels. So I would like to get into doing the reels.
You want to do the Instagram dances?
Oh no, you ain't gonna catch me dead dancing.
No, I know, but that's one of the things they're doing, like the TikTok type of thing on Instagram with the dances.
Yeah. Everybody wants to do TikTok. So the next best thing comes along, and then they'll move on to that too.
Yeah, I don't do that either.
So it's a matter of just moving with the times. Yeah.
But yeah, Instagram is good for promoting your other content.
Yeah, so I try to use that as an external source and just to create like a portfolio and keep a record of whatever's going on my channel, and maybe get a little artsy and do something a little bit different from what's going on with my YouTube. So get into the photography aspect, the reels, and I want to experiment with that as well. Everything into motion.
Let me just change this here. I'm gonna put my link in the background so people know. Hopefully I get people to call in. Let's see, call in show. See if this works. I don't know if people know that this is an actual call-in show. Like, I know it says it in the title. But some people are used to using like StreamYard, where they can just click a link and get in on the video. Yeah, so they're not They're not used to this format that I have here. I think that's part of the issue. It is kind of new, I mean, but it's cool that like I could literally call anybody on Instagram and bring them up. Like to me, it just seems cool, but I don't know if people are familiar. I put my link on the background. Hopefully.
Yeah. So just my channel in a nutshell. I'm doing aquarium info and care guides on different species of fish, where I cover where the fish comes from, the origin of the fish, breeding, temperament, how it gets along with other fish, creating a community, types of foods to feed it, just overall general care on each individual fish. And these are all fish that I do own at the time.
Right.
And that I have experience in raising myself. So all those fish you see on my channel are actual fish that are on my channel. That's not borrowed content. That's not anything that's off of Google Photos or anything like that. That's all my original stuff. Also, I like to do a lot of the aquascaping with the different styles I would like to get into. Your triangular composition, Urumi style, possibly Dutch style would be a really nice one to get into, but it's extremely difficult. Forest style, your jungle style aquascape. There's so much to get into that
it's a lot of money too. Like that's why I mentioned the sponsorships. It's like
my brain is just overwhelmed by the amount of stuff that you can do with this stuff, and it's just a matter of I have one of those what's it called? Those shelving units that you get from like Home Depot.
Yeah, the racks.
And I actually, the shelving racks, and I actually built one of the shelving racks. I think it's about 6 foot tall, 4 feet wide. No, not 4 feet wide. It's 18 inches wide and 4 feet long across. And on that shelving unit, I have an abundance of rocks, driftwood. I have dragonstone.
So you've been collecting?
Stone. I've been collecting for a good while now, and I still have more hardscape coming in.
Wow, man!
It's my apartment looks like a little bit of a mess that I have to do. It's great. I'm really excited for what I'm gonna have coming in the near future. I have a lot of great ideas. I have that 8860p. I have.
Is it empty?
The standard 8860.
You have empty tanks?
I have empty tanks.
Wow.
I have the standard 8860p, which is the 2 foot long by 12-inch wide, the 60 centimeter tank. Then I have the wider version of that, which is my Iwagumi tank, which is the 60 centimeter, 2 foot long. And then I think it's 12 inches high or something like that, 14 inches high, something like that. Then it's the wider version where it's 14 inches wide, but it's still a 2 foot
so
long.
So what do you do for stands?
For stands, I have cabinets.
All right, so you just use regular cabinets?
Archaic cabinets that I bought the tank and then the tank and then the stand that belongs to the tank because I wanted something that was very clean looking.
Right, the ones that companies make for the tanks are usually the best.
That's exactly what I have.
All right, so you got the top
cabinets.
Yeah, I can pull up the website. I think that's like an 88 US. Wait, let's see. Aqua Forest, I think is the name of the website that sells that stuff.
Aqua Forest. That's where I got it from.
Let me pull up that here real quick. Yeah, that website is nice. It's just everything's so expensive.
Yeah, you gotta play to pay. That's with everything in life.
Yep. Let me see. Let me pull that up there. It is a nice website, but I'm gonna put it in the back. Okay, that's the website. They got nice stuff, no doubt about it. I mean, I was looking at their I like their 88 all-in-one tank. Let me try to pull it up here. That's a tank I really like. It comes with they have the glass lids for it and everything already set up for you, which is so convenient.
All right.
Have you seen that tank?
I could believe it must be much more expensive. I could only imagine, because I've gotten the tanks by themselves.
Aquarium kits. Let's see if they have it here. Here it is, the DOOA System Aqua 30.
Yeah,
right. It's $300 for the all-in-one tank. That's one.
Yeah.
But it's expensive. I mean, for what it is.
Duo was doing a lot of. I believe when Takashi Amano had passed away, that's when Duo started coming on the scene.
Right. I mean, he wasn't. I don't think he was. He wasn't really all for all-in-one tanks. He liked the he liked the regular glass.
Yeah, straight up glass.
Right.
Yeah.
Looking like the glass minimalistic, which I like too. Yeah. But I like the all-in-one tanks for the ease of maintenance. But yeah, I do like this this Aqua 30. Very nice tank. I think it's like is it like 7 gallons or something? It's probably like close to 7 gallons.
Yeah.
The stuff on this website is usually expensive. They even have 88. They got the 88 tools, and you see the price of that.
No way I'm touching those things. Oh hell no. There's no way I'm touching those things. That's super expensive. Like, for what I'm paying for the UNS products, the 88 is like triple the amount.
Right, and I mean the UNS products still look good.
Oh yeah, no, the UNS is great. I had zero issues with them. And just the 88 is great if you like showcasing your tools and your professional aquascaper and stuff like that. But I by far am no means a professional. I don't think I'll see professionalism within my lifetime, to be honest with you.
Right now I'm looking at the 88 TA original scissors.
I'm alright.
But it's sold out. Don't worry about it. You don't have the option. It's sold out.
Oh yeah.
There are collectors.
They're super fans.
But they put it up. They put it up in a display, a glass display case.
You got to remember something also. In Japan, I believe that these products are much cheaper.
Right. Export tariffs and all that. Makes sense.
Yeah, they're much cheaper. When people that live in, I believe that there's a gentleman, his channel, Ryan Watanabe is his name.
Right.
And I think he's Japanese, and he gets these products at a dirt cheap price over there. So
that makes a lot of sense. I mean, this stuff is high. When they say stainless steel, that's like real legitimate stainless. You know, it doesn't rust easy. It's good stuff.
Yeah. I've had my my aquascaping tools right now for about going on a good year.
Right.
But it also depends on how you take care of this stuff as well.
Right. You gotta make sure you dry before you put it away. Don't get salt on it.
Exactly. Clean. Yeah. Try to keep the minerals low on it and rinse everything off.
Yeah, there's a way to manage
and all that stuff. So,
but still, some of the cheaper tools will rust too easily.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I had a couple of experiences with some cheaper tools. Like when I first got into the aquascaping, I was dealing with the Fluval products.
Right.
And I was using their tweezers.
Right.
I was trying to plant with those things, and what happened is, instead of the tweezer being all stainless steel tweezer with fine tips, the tips were a little bit broad, and then they had like these rubber tops on them.
Oh.
And I was trying to bury them into the substrate, and then every time I would lift the tweezers out of the substrate, it would pull the plants out of the substrate.
Right.
And it was the most infuriating thing. Yeah, it was horrible.
Well, you gotta have the right tools for the job. I mean, it makes everything easier.
Yeah, it makes life so much easier.
I use like two.
Ever since I made the switch.
I use like the regular straight forceps and then the curved ones at the same time, like on each hand when I'm trying to plant something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I use two of them.
Me, I've been doing it, and I've learned from other people on YouTube and from people in the aquascaping community how to do it. I'll plant a tank right away.
Right.
Like the worst thing, in my opinion, to deal with is dwarf hairgrass, and I'll prep dwarf hairgrass now and plant it right away, no problem.
Right. Yeah, this ADA stuff is pretty cool. I like the high quality items, but there's also Waterbox. Waterbox makes some nice things. I have
Waterbox makes great things.
I have an innovative marine tank because the brand that I got for my 14 gallons is usually a saltwater brand, but I like the quality.
Yeah.
So,
and this also makes great fish tanks as well.
I like the
not as expensive as the 88 tanks. The UNS tanks are great too.
Right. I like innovative marine because the stands are anodized